Tech Cocktail, delivering happiness here at South by Southwest. I'm really excited to be joined today by a fellow and what else? You're an anthropologist.
I am indeed.
And author?
Yes.
And what else? Thought leader?
Only sometimes.
Okay. And just really interesting personality, Genevieve Bell from Intel.
Nice to be here in the bus.
Yeah, thanks for joining us here on the
It's my
Delivering Happiness
pleasure.
Bus. So we're here at South by Southwest,
Yay.
and we're just really talking to thought leaders like yourself about a number of different topics. And first off, I wanted to first set the stage. Like, what do you do day to day, so everyone kind of gets a sense of your life and what you're up to?
Always my favorite question. What is it that you actually do, dear?
What is it?
What is it that you do?
Yeah.
So you're right. I'm an anthropologist. I also work at Intel. I run Intel's first lab that's really dedicated to looking at the intersection of human behavior and new technology. So I'm responsible for thinking about what the next generation of human-computer interactions will be, what the kind of next generation of computing will be as we stop just thinking about really traditional kind of computing platforms and start to imagine all the places the internet and all of the other kind of wonders will go. So basically, I mean, I have, I think, probably the world's best job. I'm really starting to think about new research methods. I spent the better part of November and December turning out people's cars, so actually getting people to unpack the entire contents of their cars. So glove compartments, side doors, under the seats, the boot, the trunk, everything. And as I was doing that, I kind of realized that it's really easy to do that with physical stuff. You can turn out a car, a backpack, a house, if you're crazy. But doing the moral equivalent of that with our laptops, our phones, our sort of tablets, all our digital stuff's really difficult. And I'm really sort of struck by thinking about what's the kind of the methodology that will let us be able to kind of do that, basically archaeology of our digital stuff. And I'm really sort of interested in starting to think methodologically how you can do that moral equivalent of like turning the thing upside down and shaking the contents out. I am really struck by the fact that broadband is clearly one of the infrastructures that makes all these new experiences possible, but it's not a global one. It's not even a universal one in the United States. I mean, 25% of US households aren't connected to broadband. You know, it's many greater numbers in other places. And when I think about what it means to deliver a whole new set of experiences, it means we're going to need the infrastructures to make that possible. So for me, the biggest both gate to new technology and the biggest opportunities are actually about how we deliver the infrastructure. So think back. I mean, effectively, we're at the point we were at the turn of 2 centuries ago with electricity. You know, the electricity had one killer app and it was a light bulb. You know, the internet's had one killer app and it was the web. And clearly there's a whole new set of them emerging, but we need to work out how to bring the infrastructure with it so that it's not just a bunch of people like us all talking to each other, but we actually can talk to everyone. So my mother always said you should say yes to everything. And on the one hand, that's maybe not the best advice, but the thing about it is that once you open yourself up to saying no to anything, saying yes to everything is it creates a very different, again, set of opportunities for yourself, right? Because it means you're going to continuously be open to new opportunities, different experiences, to stretching yourself. And the second piece of advice is linked to the first, which is that you have to think so much bigger than you are comfortable with, and you have to be willing to ask for everything. I mean, because ultimately, every conversation is in some ways a negotiation with what you want for yourself, but a negotiation with whoever has the resources or what it is that you need access to. And, you know, frankly, for me, I think, you know, you've got to be willing to ask for everything. You have to be willing to ask for something so big it hurts to come out of your mouth. And I think you have to be willing to ask because the worst thing someone is ever going to say to you is yes. Because if they say yes, you actually have to make it happen. And in fact, unless you're asking, you'll never get that opportunity. But for me, you've got to be willing to think so big, it's actually painful. So big that, in fact, chances are you'll fail, but the failing will be the part that gets you somewhere interesting.